Hi, class. This is Dr. Eisenman, and I am your System Director for Human Blueprint, as well as the TBL Director for the Department of Medical Education. And in this short video, I'd like to take an opportunity to welcome you to your very first system of medical school. And this is called Human Blueprint. And since I'm going to be directing this first course, indulge me for a moment to let me tell you my story, a few fun facts, and then let's get going. Okay, so where did I grow up? I'm originally from New Jersey. I typically like to keep that quiet because I get a response like, "What exit?" Or they try to feed me some Jersey Shore MTV stuff. And a little nugget, both of my parents are immigrants. My dad is from Germany, my mom is from Netherlands, and they both came here in the 50s on a boat in the middle of a hurricane in my mom's case. And where did I go to school? I have a PhD in cancer biology from the University of Minnesota Twin Cities. And the coldest it ever was there while I was there was a wind chill of minus 100. And I biked at minus 50 degrees one day to school because I was too cheap to get a parking pass. And what do I do at UT? I study glioblastoma and I test new therapeutics in patient cell lines that we have derived. We collect lots of tumors, unfortunately, from the neurosurgeries that happen here at UT and ProMedica, and we take those patient tumors and we test various drugs on them. So that's a little bit about what I do. And this handsome man in the upper right, that's my husband, Peter. He's an epidemiologist and he works for the state of Michigan. So before coming to U Toledo in 2008, I lived in a few different places, so mostly in New Jersey growing up, and then I hit University of Minnesota for my PhD for 4.5 years. And then I hit Michigan for my postdoc. And so I was there until 2008, and then I got a job right out of postdoc here at the university. So I've been kind of hovering around the Midwest for the last few years. It's way cheaper to live here than back on one of the coasts. And I really dig our Great Lakes area. So a couple little factoids about me, what I like to do in my time when I'm not at UT, not in the lab or teaching or running a course. I love to bike, and I used to race mountain bikes when I was a postdoc in Michigan. And I used to race sport class, and the highest ranking I ever did get was second in the state, so that was pretty fun. I have probably about 4 concussions from that little stint, so sometimes you'll have to forgive my memory. Other than that, I love to be outside as much as possible. I love hiking in all weather conditions. I don't care how cold it is. And I love biking in all conditions as well. So I built a snow bike this past winter using an old snowboard so that I could bike in the middle of heavy snow. And on the upper right, this is a moment that I'm pretty proud of. I finished a full Ironman a few years back while teaching medical education and running my lab. I did it in 13 hours and 15 minutes in Wisconsin-Madison, and I'd really like to go back in the next year or two and see if I can get a 12 in front of that number to see if I can finish in 12 and change. So these are just kind of some of the things you'll see me doing when I'm not in front of the classroom. Last 2 nuggets about me. This is kind of wacky, but I own a house on an island. So my husband Pete and I, we bought a house up on a remote island in the middle of Lake Michigan up north. The island's called Beaver Island, and let's just say it was a really wacky impulse buy that we had on a vacation. We loved the idea of buying a house on an island. We just thought we'd be in Puerto Rico and not in the middle of Lake Michigan, where you can only get there by plane or by a ferry ride. And the handsome fellow on the right, that is my cat named Greg, and he's on Instagram. Feel free to follow him. And Greg is awesome, and he's usually parked next to me when I'm working on all of my curricula at home, and Greg has tons of island adventures as well. He's been on an airplane several times to get to the island, and he's just a well-traveled and dapper cat. All right, so now you know who you're dealing with. You know a little bit about me. Feel free to throw a comment in the discussion board or come up to me after class, say hi. So I'm, if anything, approachable, I hope you're realizing, and I'm really here to help you find your way in medical school and to put your mind at ease in this first system. So, welcome aboard to Human Blueprint, and why don't we get started on this?